Consider this. Today, worldwide, more than half of us live in cities. By 2050, the United Nations projects nearly 3/4 of us will. More and more, these bustling metropolises are becoming home. When did you start thinking about moving to the city?
Probably about a month after I moved into the suburbs.
Connie Curran remembers her years in the burbs as dull.
Right, so I bought this house in the suburbs. They had a white picket fence. My sister saw it and she said, "You're on Wisteria Lane."
Wisteria Lane.
I said, "What's Wisteria Lane?" And it was a great house, and it was very peaceful. It was very homogeneous, and it was very boring.
So last year, at age 61, this nurse turned healthcare entrepreneur who found a new lease on life after beating stage 4 cancer settled in this spectacular home in San Francisco.
When I saw that view, I thought, now this is the city. And I also thought, and this is the neighborhood. I'm living life. This is life. This is the luxury of middle age.
The luxury of middle age.
The luxury of middle age.
Is to move to the city?
To move to the city and to enjoy the richness and the vastness of the things that are here. I hang around 24th Street and usually pick up some flowers, pick up some fruit.
Curran says walking everywhere keeps her fit. In fact, studies show many urbanites are actually healthier and may even live longer. And they're environmentally friendlier too, because they drive less, live in smaller spaces, and use less energy. To offset her 3,200 square foot space, Curran takes it a step further. This is all run by solar power?
Yes, yes.
The natural light comes through and you let it right through the floor here.
Right, goes through.
A lucite stairwell in her 3-story modern home lets natural light penetrate, saving so much electricity that the utility company actually writes her a check every month. While Curran moved to this vibrant city for culture,
if you just look around us in New York,
author and Harvard economist Edward Glaeser says many folks moving to cities are just following the money because city workers earn 30% more than those in suburbs. Just look at Midtown Manhattan.
The economic output, the payroll of this area is higher than Oregon or Nevada, right? This tiny sliver of land is an unbelievably productive part of America. And that productivity is ultimately at the heart of cities' appeal. It's ultimately what's drawing so many people to cities.
Today, around 250 million Americans choose to live in or around urban areas. That means more than 3/4 of our population shares just about 3% of our land area. Since 1990, the number of people living in cities has gone up by 7%. A far cry from all those years of folks fleeing to the suburbs.
If you ever lived in the city, you'd know what attracts people to Long Island.
Today, the movement's in the other direction. It's back towards the old ports. It's back towards the dense cities that were our historic starting point.
Now, to some say the word city, and you're talking the concrete jungle of Manhattan. Or maybe you'd think of the city by the bay, San Francisco. But you probably would not think about this place, Olive Branch, Mississippi. It's the fastest growing city in the United States.
In the late 1800s, we were known as Cowpen.
Cowpen?
Cowpen.
Sam Reichert is the mayor here. Do you think changing the name of the town from Cowpen to Olive Branch might have helped with the growth?
Well, I think it's probably helped tremendously, yeah.
Olive Branch, just outside Memphis, has certainly blossomed. From 3,500 people in 1990 to a small city of nearly 34,000 today. Citing this 838% population boom, Bloomberg Businessweek recently gave it that ranking, America's fastest growing city.
It's almost like that field of dreams. You build it and they'll come, you know, and that's almost reality here.
It's reality all across the South. Over the last 10 years, most of the fastest growing major cities were southern cities. And that's not a coincidence, according to Edward Glaeser.
The variable that best predicts metropolitan growth over the 20th century is January temperature.
January temperature?
January temperature.
Wow.
That actually warmth is just a very good predictor of which American cities have grown more quickly or less quickly. And in some sense, you want to think about this as America in 1900 was built around this great transportation network of the Great Lakes and the railroads. And as it became cheaper to move goods over space, people got to move to the places that they wanted to move to.
Randy and Shannon Taylor moved from a smaller town in Mississippi to Olive Branch back in 2002. They wanted better schools and more amenities, along with an affordable cost of living.
Just the range of things that have popped up in Olive Branch, restaurants and theater and things like that.
Has it changed a lot in the last few years?
Absolutely. There used to be just a 2-lane road that ran through Olive Branch, and now it's one of the busiest streets in the county.
And that's what gets to lifelong resident Janice Turner.
Occasionally I'll ask myself, where are these people coming from? And occasionally, didn't they learn to drive?
She says she can measure all this growth by the addition of traffic lights and chain stores.
It looks like an ocean of houses when I get to a high point in Olive Branch and look over the rooftops. And that's sort of startling to see.
When we think of booming population growth, we might not think of Olive Branch, Mississippi. But should we?
Sure, we should. We should be thinking about so much that's exciting that's happening in the middle of America, that's happening in those areas that are able to combine metropolitan productivity with cost of living.
Cities of all sizes, giving folks like Connie Curran a chance to redefine where they live their American dream.
I think it just is a way of revitalizing and re-energizing, and in a way, counting your blessings.
And a city can make you do that,
Hey,
feel that?
all the way. I think the city does have. City living helps feed your spirit, feed your soul.